Hello, how are you? If you saw my original video all about my autism or Aspergers or ASD or whatever you want to call it, you'll remember that I was talking about positives and negatives about having the condition. And a lot of people got in touch after the original video saying, oh, you're brave. Nothing to do with being brave, it's just being honest. So 5 years ago, before I got diagnosed, all my life up to that point, I used to really get myself down. Why was I different? Never seemed to fit in, I was always the outcast. And it wasn't really until I got my diagnosis that I came to realise that you can be quite fearless about who you are and really not get too down on yourself about everyone and everything around you. It's really all about confidence and being able to feel good about yourself and most of all, comfortable. So today I want to lighten things up a little bit and tell you my 10 favourite things about having ASD or Asperger's, whatever you want to call it. Before I start, I just want to point out that like most neurotypical people, everyone with autism or ASD are really different. So the traits and positives that I'm going to talk about are not necessarily the same as somebody else that's on the autistic spectrum. We're all different. So number 10 is all about heightened senses. A few months ago, went to the doctors, thought I had a tumour in my neck, thought I was dying of cancer. I always think I'm dying. Anyway, long story short, it wasn't, and one of the tests involved putting a tube down my nose and having a look, but also testing my ears, so I had a hearing test done. And I always knew that I had really sensitive hearing, but the doctor that did the test, he was amazed. He'd never seen anybody in 26 years with hearing as crystal clear and loud as mine. Apparently I picked up every single one of the tests. So the benefits of that, if I was your best mate and we were walking down a dark street late at night, I can hear an assassin coming from a mile away.
Number 9.
Number 9, I'm quite an imaginative thinker. I've got a really vivid imagination. My mind just never stops churning 24 hours a day. And because I spend a lot of time on my own, kind of churning around these thoughts, and it means that I've got quite a thought process that's not quite like other people. I don't follow the herd. I'm not like the sheep that all tend to follow the same thing. I've got really independent thought processes. I would love my other half to spend a day in my mind. Imagine the biggest fairground you've ever seen that just stretches for miles and miles and miles, and all the rides and everything that's going on. That's my head, 24/7. So number 8 is attention to detail. Very focused mind. Pinpoint accuracy with everything. Whatever I'm doing or researching, if I get an interest in anything, I'll spend hours, days, weeks researching it, trying to get every piece of information that I can, quite obsessively sometimes. What it does mean is that I have a really broad range of knowledge about a lot of subjects. Good quizzer, I guess.
Number 7.
Number 7, I am probably the least boring person you've ever met. Just ask Sean.
What?
I'm always coming out with the most inappropriate things. On the videos, on the vlogs, you'll hear Sean saying all the time, you can't say that.
You can't say things like that.
No, you can't say that.
You can't do that. You have to start that again. You can't do that.
Quite spontaneous, just doing things out of the ordinary. Just unexpected. And that's my mind, it's just kind of darting from one extreme to the other. And the ADHD, I think, plays a part in that. It's exciting, I'll tell you. Number 6 is passion. I'm really passionate about anything that I take an interest in. For example, bought a ukulele a couple of weeks ago. Wait. For me, it's not about praise and people telling me I've done well. I have this internal motivation, this kind of internal pride where I need to satisfy myself for doing well rather than getting praise from other people for it. It's the same with the gym. I use fitness and the gym to occupy my mind, and I find that keeping physically fit actually helps mentally. It keeps a lid on the depression and the anxiety. It's still quite bad, so I do spend a lot of time in the gym. Number 5, very, very focused when I need to be very focused. If you've got a mistake on your 300-page Excel spreadsheet, give me a call. I'm really good at spotting little tiny things that are wrong. Attention to detail is my thing. I can spot it a mile away. Somebody once told me it's like an ability to be able to think three-dimensionally rather than looking at things from a single viewpoint. I have this three-dimensional view of things, whether it comes to problem solving or trying to come up with ideas. Number four, memory. I have an eidetic memory. It means that I remember things really well. I can remember numbers, things like credit card numbers, bank account numbers and sort codes from cards that I had years and years ago. I can remember car number plates. If anybody tries to cut me up, if it's you, I remember your car number plate and I'll remember it for years and years. It's often said that people with autism, ASD, Aspergers don't really show empathy or have feelings for other people. That's absolute rubbish. Again, it depends where you are on the scale. My end of the scale, very high functioning, and I have a lot of empathy and feelings. I do understand other people. But one of the autistic traits I do have is that I'm also going to be honest. And some people don't like that. Some people do, and my friends, that's fine because they understand what I'm like. It does mean sometimes I can kind of open my mouth and say the wrong thing at the wrong time. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. In true autistic style, I love trains. It's maybe why I love canals as well. After all, trains and canals kind of followed the same routes when they were being built, the easiest routes around hills and valleys and things like that. I've got a really diverse kind of range of taste when it comes to music. I can dance to Jason Donovan. Why not? Stock Aitken and Waterman, brilliant. But I also like the Killers. I think it's good because in a way, having a diverse range of interests means you're not really particularly focused on one thing. So number one, I think my favourite feature of ASD, Autism, Asperger's is loyalty and love. I don't have many friends, mainly for two reasons. One, they don't get me, and two, I don't get them. But I do have one or two really close friends who do understand me and I love them to bits. Really do love my best friends. And loyalty is a big thing for people with ASD, loyalty and love. If we trust you and you trust us, we are there 100% for you. We will love you and care for you and be there when you need us, and we'll do anything you want. I was just going to say like a dog, but not like a dog, you know, not like wet dog smell, like a nice dog. So there you go, my 10 positives of having ASD, Autism, Asperger's. If you liked this video, please click like, subscribe just down below, and ask any questions or comments in the box below. Next time, an update on Silver Fox, I promise you. See you later. Bye.